because it is Madonna, who is my wife. It's her birthday today.
Tomorrow.
Right now, today. It is her birthday today. I guess we're restarting. This show is tomorrow, babe.
Oh, that's right.
I don't want to leave that. I don't want to leave that. We should just...
Yo, my name is Kieran, and this is my co-host, Ken McAnulty, and welcome to One-on-One with PK.
Free internet.
You guys use pigeons?
I don't care what you playing.
Because we want them to learn. We want them to grow.
You know I love you. I do want you.
Welcome to One-on-One with PK. My name is Ken, and I get the privilege of being the executive pastor here at Arise Church. And I'm sitting here with several people today, including my partner in crime.
My name is Kieran Emmanuel, and we have some guests, like Pastor mentioned.
We do. Your wife is here with us.
Yes, this is...
We are more than guests. My name is Erica Emmanuel.
we are what?
I was saying we're more than guests. We're a family.
Oh.
They are
Those
family.
church slogans are stuck in your head.
And
Yes,
we
sir.
actually have a very special event going on today because it is Madonna, who is my wife. It's her
That's
birthday
right.
today.
Tomorrow.
Right now, today. It is her birthday today. I guess we're restarting. This show is tomorrow, babe.
Oh, that's right.
I don't want to leave that. I don't want to leave that. We should just...
Can we leave it?
I mean, like, why not, bro?
I mean, we're both
So that
blonde.
that just got Kieran up out of his seat.
Oh
and
my gosh,
buttoned up.
that is
You
so
know,
this is
we are recording the day before.
It helps if you're informed as to when it goes live.
this is what we love about this show.
Yeah.
We believe in authenticity.
And
We're
this
going to
is
show
just
you every bit of
authentically
the
us.
realness about what happens behind these recordings. That was awesome, Madonna. That was awesome.
I got you, bro.
I mean, you guys didn't tell us when it goes live in her
Exactly.
defense, so
Well,
I could
we
understand.
thought because you were such fans of the show that you would know that it's every second and fourth Monday.
Watch it.
So
Wow.
everyone that you all have filmed has always been released on a Monday.
Yes.
Since January, since we started this format.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See, listen, Couples Quarry. I love it. I love it. Matter of fact, here, I want to start off by doing this. I want to
All right.
ask you guys a series of questions.
Okay.
All right.
Who's you guys?
You two.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Well, we're talking about marriage today, so I'm assuming that's kind of where this is coming from.
Sure.
Okay.
So I want to see where
what
is
kind
it?
of questions?
You'll see. So I'll ask, and then each of you guys answer for each other. All right.
All
So
right.
I'll start ladies first.
Okay.
Madonna, what is Ken's ideal way to spend vacation?
To be relaxed.
Mm.
His ideal would probably be to be in the mountains somewhere, in the woods, by a lake, just relaxing. That's his ideal.
Okay.
Yes.
What about Madonna?
On the beach. Put her on the beach or in Disney. That is her ideal.
That one,
vacation.
Disney, I can definitely understand.
You can?
No, yeah, she's
Oh,
Disney.
For
I
me.
was going to say for you. I'm like,
Oh, no.
Disney?
No way. No, I can't stand the beach. People, I like people, but this Disney's, you know what I mean? Oh, you know what I mean?
That was
boy.
Pastor Kieran's Mickey Mouse impression, by the way.
Yeah, I was.
Make
a
sure
little-
that you.
I thought you said on something uncomfortable. What is happening?
Okay, all right then. So what about your spouse are you most proud of?
Oh wow. Am I most proud of?
Yes.
I went deep.
Yeah, real quick.
We don't play around here.
I know, right?
You know what I'm saying?
I am probably most proud of the way that that she moms our kids, and not just our kids, but her love is big enough to mom so many other people around her. That's probably what I'm most proud of.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh,
sweet.
maybe shed a thug tear there. Madonna?
I think the thing I'm most proud of Ken is the way he exemplifies Christ. And I know this sounds religious, but it's not, because it comes down from his grandfather.
Mm.
And his grandfather is somebody that is a massive mentor in his life, even though he passed many years ago. And Ken was only a little boy. He was 5 when Grandpa Johnson passed away. But even to this day, I didn't even know him. Even to this day, from the things that they have said, he represents him. And that's where a lot of his ways come from. He thinks about what Christ would do, but what Grandpa Johnson would do in that situation.
Right.
Because that's how powerful he was in the family.
Come on.
Yeah.
All right, so vice versa. I'll start with you, Madonna. This is the last one. What is your biggest pet peeve of Ken? I'm ready.
Ooh, yeah. Now we're getting to the good stuff.
Oh, I'm ready.
Oh, boy.
I already
Be
got
nice, 'cause
mine.
I'm answering second.
I ain't worried about you. I'm not worried about you. I think it's whenever something is supposed to be, and I'm supposed to be informed of something, and he drops the ball and forgets. We'll be going about our day, or a lot of times he and I, at the end of the day, we go upstairs, we're laying in bed, and we have a talk about our day. That's when there's no kids, it's just us, and we can talk. And he'll say, don't forget I'm doing da 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 da, or don't forget you need to be here, or don't forget. And I'm looking at him going,
Wow.
you never told me that.
Feeling this.
Does that sound familiar?
And then he, and I'll look at him, and this is the key word. Well, is it on the calendar?
Is it?
And so that's the hardest thing. It's just that not knowing
Right.
type thing. And he's gotten way better about it because of that. But yeah, it's a struggle because our lives are so busy.
Right,
Whenever
absolutely.
you're throwing one more thing into what I need to do or what he needs to do or we have to do together, and it's like, we got to cram this in. Okay, we got to do this. But we make it happen. It's a struggle.
The struggle is real.
It
True.
is. Sometimes.
You have a comment?
No, not on that. No. That's,
Okay, you sure?
He doesn't even
it's
defend
just-
himself.
It's just for real.
He thinks it.
That's the way it is. No, we accept and step into our faults and try to get better. No, my biggest pet peeve about her is how easy she makes things sound sometimes. Sometimes when we're in
Nah, I'm
this-
not accepting that one. That was a compliment.
No.
He's getting
You'll
to
understand
it.
it when I get to it. We'll be talking about things, and
Oh.
all of a sudden she'll go, "Well, you just do this, this, and this, and this. It's easy."
Ah.
And it's like, no, it's not easy. No, that's a big deal because it's way outside of my comfort zone, and you think it's easy, and it's easy for you, but it may not be easy for me. And that for me, you talk about high anxiety. That kind of gets my anxiety up. So
It's a natural thing for me, but for him, it's not. It's just something. His gifting is so much different than mine.
Cerebral. That's what his gifting is. All the stuff up here. Him and your son, Jeremiah. God, talking to you guys is like talking to a encyclopedia.
Yeah, you leave questioning like, do I know anything?
No. You always leave questioning. Every time I have a conversation with Pastor Ken, I have more questions leaving than I came in. Every time.
well, part
But-
of that's my goal is to make you think. My goal is not to be your answer.
Which is I get it. It's awesome, but annoying at the same time.
Have you ever sat and watched the two of them?
I don't know if I've ever like sat and watched them go at it like that.
That's a gift in itself,
Oh,
right there.
jeez. I can
Just
only
a-
imagine.
It's a lot of fun.
It's pretty awesome.
So let me ask you, Erica.
Well, I was going to ask.
Go
First
ahead.
of all, I want to know what is your pet peeve that Kieran does?
Listen, nothing.
That
Perfect.
calendar thing is super relatable, and he always says he told me, but he never told me.
Because I did.
So you get that too?
Oh, I get that too. Yeah, babe. Remember when I told you 6
did, though.
months ago that we
I
need to
did.
revisit this thing? That's not. I'm gonna get it a new pet peeve because mine's very simple. Kieran always leaves the shower.
Always?
Oh yeah, I shouldn't say that word. I'm sorry. We're working on it.
We'll get to that later.
Is that your pet peeve?
No, you're not allowed to say always and never because
We try not
it's
to say
not
always.
always true.
Gotcha.
Most of the time, 98% of the time, Kieran leaves the shower curtain open.
I gotta let it air out.
I don't understand how hard it is to close the shower. That really drives me crazy.
So question, why do you need to close the shower curtain?
Thank you. Thank
I'm
you.
just
Shower's
curious.
ugly. Like there's a bunch of like all the
Oh,
balls.
so
And,
you
like,
want it to look neat.
my shower curtain's cute.
But I was like, mine stay open all day?
No, you said my pet peeve.
Nah, I feel you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I
That was
accept
a
that.
little.
And Kieran, your pet peeve is?
So here's one. This. I don't know.
Wow,
why.
you make it sound like you've got multiple.
Well, we
Well,
all
we
do.
definitely have
Oh, okay.
multiple.
But here's one that I don't know why it drives me crazy. Like, I don't know why. So whenever Erica texts me, she doesn't like text me a full, like, she'll say babe and leave it like that for like 3 minutes. So I'm like, what's going on? And she'll be like, hi. Or something crazy like that. I cannot just say it all at once. You know what I'm saying? Like, babe. I'm like,
Oh, that's only ammunition right there.
I was just about to say, guess what you're getting tomorrow?
oh my gosh.
Kieran.
I'm
Yo.
answered. Is it in the
So-
calendar? That's what I'll be saying.
Whatever. So let me ask you guys, because I know that, in the heartbeat of your story, you guys have had some difficult times in marriage. What's kept you going? What's made you strong?
Who? I think super practical. We like to be practical here. Support.
Yeah.
Support. So we had, before we moved to Brandon in Englewood, we were at my in-laws' church, her parents' church, and man, it was just, we had them, my parents were there, family, friends, so the support was significantly
Yeah.
effective for us to help us keep going.
People that were watching us grow up.
Watch us grow
School
up.
teachers that went to our church
Mhm.
that knew us since we were.
So we just had a lot of support. And then two, we had good examples. You know what I mean? Like, obviously not every couple is perfect, but my parents, I had a good example. Her parents are great examples. And so that's really, really what kept us together. But obviously, the Lord,
Right.
he has providential
Well, I would
play in all
imagine
that.
the support that you had pointed you guys to the Lord.
Of course.
Absolutely. It was nonstop reminding us about how, so I got this concept from my father-in-law. He'd always say that if the Lord's at the center and we draw ourselves to the Lord, the more we draw ourselves to the Lord, the more we'll draw closer to each other. And so,
And I want to give context to this.
Sure.
There were moments in your marriage that you guys didn't think you were going to make it.
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, I was ready to sign the papers.
So,
Papers. Yeah.
I used to fast, like, God, please let him come back home. Like, I'm not
Wow.
going to eat until he does, because, like, this just can't be over.
wow.
Yeah, it was a rough. I'll say this: the first 5 years of our marriage was hell.
It was.
It was
Wow.
absolutely tough. But these last 3 years, especially when we moved, gosh, it was such a big change, a big relief, and it was good, man. But support, I'm telling you, that's so important. That's why church is so important. Like, having church. Like, just go to just get support. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get people to tell you keep going.
And not just in church, though. It's okay to do counseling, you know? Like, I think sometimes there's a negative view around that. But
Right.
counseling made us talk when we didn't want to. And then you have someone to mediate and help guide, and we learned so much. And one of our counseling sessions, we ended up doing like a 9-month agreement. Like, okay, just commit to 9 months no matter what. And see where you're at in 9 months, and then make a decision.
Was it 9 months?
It was 9 months.
Oh, wow.
That's a good
I
period
was
of
going
time.
to say that is a long time.
That's a long time.
Well, I think it's a good period of time because
No,
if
for
you think
sure.
about it, that's the gestation period for a baby. So if you're going to birth something new,
See, he does
Which-
that. That's awesome. See,
You know what's crazy is how we ended up getting pregnant.
Yeah, Milo was born in that period, or conceived rather.
Yeah, in that really tough period. So
Oops.
that's cool.
For
That's
sure.
cool.
there is no oops.
So, you guys would suggest if somebody's struggling with support to find that in the church, find that in the counseling. Is there anything specific they should look for?
So, I would say this: look for 3 things in the area of support. Look for people who are older than you.
Yeah.
Look for people who are right there with you, and look for people who can look up to you. So there's always someone that, okay, man, I need to do this for them. I have people who are in the same level, and then, okay, let me look up to see how it's been done.
Yeah.
So we always had that. Like, we had in-laws, and we had friends who were like in the same plane, and we can either like talk, look. Like her sister Vanessa Morris and her husband are great example, and they're right beside us. And then all these young cats coming up, my brother, all these guys coming up trying to be. Matter of fact, he was telling me yesterday about how much he loves just our marriage and how we do with our kids and whatnot. But yeah, I would say do that, and it's not like in a competition or anything like that, but like hey, let me be motivated to keep going because I have these people following me. Let me get someone on the same level, and then let me have something to strive for.
Mine would be different.
Okay. What would yours?
Mine would be finding someone who, one, you can trust, because you can't trust everybody. So you can share things with them that can in turn end up hurting you because they're not trustworthy. And mine would be find someone who's walked through and overcome what you're currently going through. So you know they've overcome this specific thing that we're struggling with. And so we had several couples who specifically went through the trials that we went through, and they were able to say, look at us now. Like, we don't even, we laugh about that now, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and here's where we are. So it felt good to know we weren't isolated and the only ones who were walking through what we were specifically going through.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's good. It's good. What would you guys say you're most proud of in your marriage right now?
The communication has gotten better.
Yeah.
I
Man, we've grown up so much. There's so many areas.
I'm not a talker, feely guy. You know what I mean? I'll tell you this. Ken has to pull
Philly
it out
guy.
of me. Yeah, you know what I mean? So when we first got married, I did not. I'm like, I don't talk.
He actually used to get up and leave while I was still talking to him. I'm like, hey, come back.
I have an emotional cap.
He does.
So like once it hits it, and she's driven by emotion. Not driven, but she's
Yeah, I'm an emotional being.
She's an
for
emotional
sure.
being, and so everything is like high level, and so I'm just like, I can't do it anymore. You know what I mean? I cap out.
Tap out.
I tap
Done.
out.
Peace
I tap
out.
And it's something inside of me. I'm
You
done.
just shut down.
I just shut down, exactly.
Yeah, we lose him after a little bit.
So how do you navigate that emotional gap?
Now it's with communication.
Yeah.
So him saying,
Babe, let's talk about this later.
yeah.
Hey, can we revisit this another time?
Because I'm capping out. So
I'm
he
capping
communicates what's happening inside of him, and then, but
So
hey,
he
I'm not
uses key
neglecting.
words, and then you respect and honor
I
that
respect
because
it.
you
He's not
want-
me. He's
Yeah.
different than me.
Yeah.
And she keep going all day too. She keep going. I'm like this. Man, I love you. Let's talk about the rest of this later, because
Yeah.
He'll say too much.
So I asked you guys this. You guys been married how long?
25 years.
Good night. 25 years.
Yeah.
So, if you can look back or go back in time to the early stages of your marriage, what advice would you give yourselves?
For me, I think one of the things that has really driven, and he actually spoke about this last night at Arise India, was serving. Serving your spouse, serving one another. And I think looking at our marriage now, I think that it truly is part of what keeps us connected and bound, because we're always looking for the best in the other. We're looking for a way to bless each other. We're looking for a way to love each other in different ways, and realizing that our love languages, we didn't tap into that and understand the love language thing until later on in our marriage. So I would do things when we got married that I liked for him, but that didn't necessarily meet his needs.
Absolutely.
And so vice versa. So between that and serving, we went through a phase, and we still do to some extent, we just don't do it as much, but we went through a phase that where we would race to see who could bless the other one quicker and better. It was it's almost like an adventure.
Give me an example. I'm curious about.
Oh my gosh. Well, for like right now, one of the things, and I think this came up out of it, is whenever we're getting ready for dinner, I race to get his water filled in his cup before he can do it. And he will do the same thing. And we will literally have a physical wrestle in the kitchen I will try to get the cup. If he got to his cup first, whether there's water in it or not, I'm wrestling to get that cup out of there because I want to bless him. I want to serve him.
And you guys doing this now after 25 years?
Absolutely.
That's so cool.
Absolutely.
This
And
last week.
we just
That's
did
so
it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super
Or it's one of those things of just laughing and finding just the joy in each other. And I truly, when I say these last several years of our marriage has been in my opinion, I think has been some of the best years of our marriage. It's just because we are looking out for each other. When I grew up, or when we first got married, coming from the family that I came from, I always felt like I had to have a guard up.
Right.
Even when we got married, I never let that guard down. I never realized how much he was on my side. He was my biggest cheerleader, but I didn't accept that because I had had so much hurt that I never let those walls down. And it's taken over the years to realize he's doing it because he loves me.
Right.
He's doing it because he wants the best for me, not because he's wanting to keep anything from me. So I would say serving and just having a good time, because that's what it's about.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
I want to see this wrestling match
I know, it'd
on
be-
camera.
I win.
I need to have Olivia film this for me.
They're
They
used
get-
to it.
And they just roll their eyes at us
Yeah.
and like, oh
There
my
There goes mom and
gosh.
dad.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we don't end up on the floor or anything, but I won't confirm or deny whether or not someone gets water tossed on them at any point in time. Yeah. The same thing with doing the dishes. You know, I climbed
Oh.
over there and was stepped in front of the sink to do dishes the other day, and she literally pushed me out of the way because she said, "No, it's my turn. I'm doing dishes. You cook dinner. I will do dishes," and physically pushed me out of the way. And I physically tried to stay there. She ended up winning, but I ended up climbing behind her and reaching my hands over into the sink. And I ducked behind her head because that way, if she tried to spray me with water, she couldn't get me. She would
Smart.
have to spray
Who
herself.
spray you with water?
Yeah, she would never do that.
She
I would never.
The gall, Mr. Kid.
Right. Yeah. So
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I honestly like. So when I look at, and I've mentioned this to you multiple times, I want that because you get these stigmas that the longer you've been married, the things kind of just die down.
Yeah.
But I think that's a choice.
yeah,
Like-
it
It
is.
is.
It is.
It's a choice to make the marriage what you want it to be.
And so here's what I'll tell you, and I've literally just put this into words probably in the last 6 to 9 months. It's something that we chose to start doing, really working through probably about 7 to 10 years ago, really understanding this. But it's this idea of fighting for the other person's needs. And here's what I'll tell you. The couple that fights for the other person's needs will stop fighting together or stop fighting each other.
Come on.
That's good.
So I choose to spend my energy fighting for her needs, so I don't have to spend energy fighting her. It's such a more pleasant life.
Yeah.
And there are moments that I fail, but as we've learned to, grown and learned each other, like she mentioned, it's also then learning to trust each other's heart. That even if I fail, she knows that I have a heart for her. Even if she fails, I know that she has a heart for me.
That's really
And so I trust her heart for me, and we're going to fight for each other's needs. And that's illustrated in that simple, silly way of how we fight over the cup to fill it for each other. And it's really it really is kind of silly, because there are times where we'll end up filling each other's cup, and we'll both strut around the kitchen like we did something big and we filled each other's cup. But the reality is that a lot of people, man, you're just filling your own cup
Right.
and going and sitting down. It's not a big deal. But for us, it's a big deal because it's that fight to serve each other. It's that fight to meet each other's needs. And that's just a simplistic way of illustrating a lifestyle that we're really trying to live,
So
that
true.
we're fighting to serve each other.
So I want to touch on this, get your perspective on this. Erica mentioned something about allowing, like, who you allow into your lives. Now, we know biblically we're called to love everybody, but we're not called to give access to everybody.
Right?
So when did you guys learn who to let in and who to push out?
Keep out
Keep out.
boundaries.
I think we're still learning.
Yeah.
I think that's a it's a day by day struggle. One of the things that I would say is this. You'll have different circles that you have people in. There are some circles that you give where you give out.
Right.
There are some circles where you take in. Be careful who you allow in the take in circle.
Yeah.
Be intentional with that, and only allow people in the take in circle that has something that you're willing to take in.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so I would be very, very intentional about that. I do this in my personal life too. I don't have very many people that I will allow to speak into my life. And the reason for that is because I want to see something in your life that I want in order for me to let you speak into my life. Now, that doesn't mean that people, don't come up and give me words or encouragements.
Sure,
and
yeah.
It doesn't mean I don't receive those. But I'm talking about people that I intentionally will spend time with to speak into my life. And I think it's the same thing for our marriage. If we're going to put somebody in front of us, that we're willing to allow them to invest into our life, I want to have seen something that we want in their life.
Right.
And so be intentional with that. And that would be, if you're going to be really our friends and we're going to spend time with you like that, then there needs to be something there like that. Now, there are other people in our life that we spend time with because we know it's an intentional investment from us.
Right.
But we go into that without necessarily looking for anything. It doesn't mean that we don't get anything out of it. It doesn't mean we don't learn anything out of it. But I'm not going into it looking to receive. I'm going into it looking to give. And so it's just this intentionality of relationship that we kind of approach things with.
No, that's so good because one of the things we're learning is, that everyone can come to the front door, but not everyone can come to the house, inside the house, and making sure we recognize that, because as you're saying, friends or people we allow into our lives should be defined by their fruit, not by our feelings.
Correct.
Right?
It's really good.
Like, 'cause sometimes we like couples that are like, oh man, these are cool, but they're doing certain things that are just that'll cause your marriage to be X, Y, and Z.
Right.
And that's a hard lesson I've learned is making sure that I see the fruit first before I'm like, oh, this guy's cool.
Right.
Oh, he dresses awesome. Hey, come over and meet my kids. And hold on, pause. You know what I mean? Like, I can love people.
Right.
But we got to check that.
I think you have you have an inner circle.
Yeah.
Those that you can pick up the phone and say, I need you to pray. I need you to keep this in mind. Then you have the next circle that you maybe go to dinner with. But like you said, they don't come into your house.
Yeah.
The inner circle is welcome in your house.
Right.
We were just actually joking with some friends of ours the other day, and they needed some help, and I was willing to help them. They were like, we just need to give you a key to our house. And they said that almost nonchalantly, but that had power behind
Absolutely.
it. And it's one of those things, there's very few people that have that access, like you were saying. So you have that inner circle, then you have the next level, going to dinner, we'll maybe play a game, but it stops there. And then you've got your acquaintances in that third level. It's almost like a target,
Right.
where the target is where that's the most powerful part when you're shooting an arrow, that center part. Then you go to the outer part and you have a little bit more, it's okay. And then you have those acquaintances. So it's one of those things that you have those levels, and it's spirit led on where people are in that target area, and they shift.
Absolutely.
Because all it takes is one comment or a note. Honestly, I mean, just to be real, something on Facebook they posted and you're going, that doesn't sit quite well with me.
Yeah.
I think they just shifted to a whole, they shifted out, but yet on the other hand, we still love them. It's just, they just don't match up to where we need them to be.
And every couple has different standards,
Absolutely.
different boundaries,
That's
different
right.
lines. And that's something that Eric and I learned we had to talk about at first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Man, boundaries have saved us, changed us.
Right.
Yeah.
We
made us healthy.
We didn't have any boundaries, I don't think, when we first got married. Like, one of the advice I would give to us is stop letting people over so much. Our house was like just so many young adults there all the time, which is great, but also it was unhealthy to the two of us because we weren't able to grow and to get to know each other because we were so invested in other people.
That's good.
And so boundaries are a safe thing. It's okay to say no.
Absolutely.
And I think sometimes in the church world, we feel bad saying no, but you can say no.
Yeah.
It took me a while
Yeah, it
To
took
get
me some
that.
time to learn that.
through our beginning years of ministry. That was hard to say no. I need somebody to do this, and I'm the type of person that I just do.
You're a doer.
I'm very much a doer, and so you need me, and it took me time, and I'm like, okay, we need to slow down.